My name is Todd Davidson, and I am the senior pastor here at First Baptist Church of Hampton. So interestingly, my tenure here started on May the 1st of 2020. In March, however, I had been named the pastor. I just had not made the transition yet. The night before, that Saturday evening, before the Sunday service, we made a conscious decision to not have service that Sunday. Certainly not knowing that we would not have service again for another 15 months in the building. But the church leadership, the chairman of the deacons, the chair of the trustees, and the office team, we kind of worked together to decide that it was in our best interest to not hold service that day. Initially, I think the members were confused because there wasn't much known at the time about what the impact of COVID-19 was going to be on our spaces. I think if we think back, it really was the NBA player Rudy Gobert who, when he got COVID and the NBA decided to shut down, that we started to see some other institutions and organizations start to follow suit. And so I think that initially there was some confusion. But there was also the expectation at that point that we were only going to be out for a couple of weeks. And so there was confusion. I think there was relief. And here in this context, I think the people were appreciative that we were attempting to be forward thinking in trying to help manage and mitigate some of the COVID issues in our own faith community. Here at First Baptist, the church up to that point, we had not ever live streamed our worship services. They were always available on our website and on the various platforms, Vimeo platform, and for once the service had concluded. However, we had never done that in a live way. And so we did some technology updating and integration between that March period and May the 1st, which was actually the first Sunday that we completely live streamed, was the first Sunday that I was here. Post-pandemic, most of the people that we have on a weekly basis watch online. Initially, in the initial months when we were only online, we were drawing between 2,000 and 3,000 viewers on a weekly basis. By God's grace, it seemed like the people in this context for ministry, when the country went in crisis, they became significantly more generous. Mm-hmm. And so by God's grace, because we are also an employer, we have several team members here, and we were able to make certain that all of our team members were compensated fully throughout the pandemic. Even though the building was closed, we were still able to make certain that we were taking care of the people who serve faithfully here, because the people were faithful in their contributions. And so we did not, by God's grace, we did not experience any lag in contributions or the resources that we had. And we were able to do some work that was some much needed work on, we got a new roof, added a new roof to our old sanctuary. So there were some things that we were able to get done because of the generosity of the people that we serve. Our elders, they really have faithfully supported the work of ministry here. Certainly, we have some younger members who do as well, but young people are much more transient. Have smaller children, and sometimes the resources are a little thinner. And so certainly they stepped up in a major way and have always done so here at First Baptist Church. Mm-hmm. We have seen we have a younger audience online and a broader audience online. And one of the things that we also did was we expanded what it means to be a member here. Mm-hmm. That you don't necessarily have to attend or even be local. Now we have virtual members that have access to all of the constituent service and member service that we provide as a congregation. And so we've seen in our growth areas, we've seen growth in younger families and in families with children We're dedicating babies. As a matter of fact, I've got a baby dedication this Sunday. And so we've seen some growth in those areas.
Okay.
I think there's hesitancy across the spectrum. I don't think it's respective of age. I think people are taking it easy, and now that they have the opportunity to do so, I've had older members who said, "Pastor, you know what? It's going to be hard get me out of my pajamas on Sunday morning when I can just tune in." I do believe, though, because we're people, we're intended to be in relationship with other people, and so I don't believe that will ever replace being a part of the sanctuary. And so what we're seeing is we came back in the sanctuary in mask and socially distanced in August, the first Sunday in August. So we've been now about 4 months, and we're slowly seeing more and more people start to come into the sanctuary space. And so I think that will continue as long as the numbers for the pandemic continue. I think I would tell myself, be as flexible as possible. Be open to creative ideas that you haven't even thought of yet. And it really is in keeping with the biblical model. The scriptures say, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, neither has it entered into the hearts of men, women, or children what God has in store for those who love him. And so the only thing that can limit us is the borders of our own imagination. And so there's so many possibilities. And I think it allowed us to, looking back, the blessing amidst the clouds. I would tell myself that there's always a bright side. Is that we've been able to get rid of some things that we were doing that were leading us on a path of demise and destruction. Some things that are not really necessary that we saw that we didn't need to be doing. And so just be open and flexible to new inventive ways for people to experience God and to encounter what their faith means to them.